Like we never lived. We live, baby.
Suck passé. What's going on, guys? My name's Alan.
And I'm Alex.
Welcome to AmicyTheory channel.
Guys, welcome back to another episode where we get a chance to go throughout the world and on YouTube to find the mysteries of life and find the things that are interesting to us. Today we got Genghis Khan explained in 8 minutes. I know nothing about this guy besides that a lot of people are related to this guy. No one ever talks about him. So I was like, let's look him up and see what kind of information we can find. So without further ado, let's go do best, guys, and hop in this video. Let's get popping.
Let's get it.
Ding, ding. You know when you see that, it's gonna be a deep British guy. Hello, mate. The life guide.
In the year 1162, between modern-day Mongolia and Siberia, a ruthless leader and great conqueror was born. The King of Kings, a brutal barbarian, and the founder of the largest connected land empire the world has ever seen.
The largest connected land empire.
We need Tartaria. Don't forget that.
Oh, God. We're never going to get through this.
Bro, I'll be here all day.
Tartaria? Explain in 3 minutes. What is that?
That's the one that the what's his name? The Russian leader Putin let out.
Do you want to go for the second one or the first one?
Second one.
Okay. Back to your schedule programming. Programming.
Sorry,
Jesus, bro. My foreigner level life.
His name, Genghis Khan. Genghis, together with his sons and grandsons, went to war on an immense scale, and in only 25 years, the Mongol army conquered.
Who is this guy? I'm always confused as to where they're getting the pictures from. We're talking about Genghis Khan, but I'm just seeing a lot of white people, so I'm confused as to where this is coming from.
The colonization comes in.
Territory than the Romans had done in 400.
Wasn't the Romans black?
Bro, everybody was black.
Time.
You just painted it over. Come on, now.
Hold on.
Now we gotta look that up too, bro. We're never gonna get done.
We got so many videos. Okay, hold on. Were the Romans black?
We're too woke. We're too woke.
That's too much for me. Let's go back to where we're at. We'll just assume they were white. Continue.
By the time of his death in 1227, the Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea, encompassing around 10 million square miles. The empire was vast, measuring the same size as the African continent, and larger than the United States, Canada, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean islands combined,
if we went
making
back to
Genghis
colonies,
Khan
it's
one
over.
of the most successful military commanders the world has ever known.
See, things like that always confuses me because I'm always like, okay, was it Genghis Khan, or was he just good at putting people in positions that were elite at what they did?
So you're saying he was what? Probably like the coach?
You know what I'm saying? Like we're going, Genghis Khan. Well, what about the rest of the people that were input? Like he didn't win the wars by himself to conquer everything. So I'm trying to figure out,
1162 to the name Temujin. He was the son of a local chieftain and was said to have been born clutching a blood clot, a sign from heaven that he would become a great warrior.
Jesus.
Temujin experienced grief and suffering from an early age, with his father being poisoned by a rival tribe when he was only 9 years old. After his father's death,
that was his villain story.
The tribe abandoned Temujin and his family, as Mongol tribes would only follow a strong and respected leader, forcing them to survive in the harsh conditions of the steppes by themselves.
So his dad was a leader. And then when his dad was poisoned, they left him and his mom.
It was during this time that Temujin killed his half-brother, who had been accused of hoarding food while others starved. This allowed Temujin to gain control over the tribe, and soon he was leading it alongside his lifelong friend and blood brother, Jamuka. 10 years later, Temujin understood that his small tribe in the open grasslands of the steppes was weak and exposed, so he sought to bolster his numbers by marrying into a local tribe. He soon found Borte, his first wife. Not only did Temujin gain a loving companion, but more importantly, the fighting force that came with her. Temujin was not fated to have a peaceful life, as it would not be long until adversity returned to him. The powerful Merkit tribe came and raided his camp, killing many and stealing Borte away. Temujin and Jamuka managed to escape and made their
They keep saying Temujin. I'm like, who the heck is that guy? Then I realize it's Genghis.
way to the local Khan, who had fought aside Temujin's father, begging for help.
Khan.
The Khan accepted their plea, and soon Temujin was at the head of a massive fighting force. Shortly after, he took swift and decisive action against those who wronged him. Heading to the Merkit camp in the mountains of northern Mongolia, he slaughtered the offending tribe, taking his wife back in the process. These cruel conditions Temujin faced in his earlier years helped shape him into the fierce warlord he was to become, and taught him not only how to deal with his enemies, but also the value of forging friendships and alliances. As time progressed, the tribe became divided, as the fundamental differences between the two leaders became apparent. Temujin valued talent wherever it came from, whereas Jamuka thought only those who had a noble birth should be respected. This led to a rift in the tribe and an eventual split.
We all know that it always goes sideways. Anytime somebody values, were you a elite level royal versus the peasant? Nah, the peasants will always murder everybody, bro. They work harder. They're not content. They're not comfortable.
With Jamuka now leading a clan of his own. It would be 2 years until the pair would meet again, in which Jamuka's men slaughtered Temujin's unprepared and outnumbered tribe. The generals Jamuka captured also faced a gruesome death, being boiled alive.
Ain't no way.
When Temujin found out what had happened, he was furious, and it said from that day on he would seek revenge and pledge never to be defeated again. In 1204, the two finally fought each other in a pitched battle, which would be crucial for the survival of the Mongol people.
You see how the Asiatic people portray their things properly? That we can just follow the story along. Versus the ones we know, they're like, they were all white. They were like, it's crazy.
Yeah, no respect.
It was crazy.
And would determine Temujin's position as commander. Tribesmen were trained in both archery and horsemanship, and when the battle began, they used this to deadly effect. Bows were made from wood and animal bone, and had a shooting range of 500 yards. The military ranking was also based on the idea of meritocracy. So it was in this battle that Temujin proved his military genius. He told each warrior to light 5 fires on the eve of the battle, so Jamuka scouts would report an immense fighting force, striking fear into the heart of the enemy. As dawn broke, both armies advanced, and when close enough, Temujin's forces unleashed a barrage of arrows and used cavalry charges to demolish Jamuka's army. He then feigned retreat with some of his squadrons, luring his foe into a planned ambush where they were promptly slaughtered. This led to a decisive victory over his former blood brother, who fled from the battle. Jamuka was later betrayed by 2
blood brother. Is it like he's legit brother or like?
Bro, I don't even know this one. I'm just like
of his generals and brought before Temujin. When he refused the second chance Temujin offered him, he was given an honourable death, and finally the Mongols were unified under one leader. To honour this great achievement, Temujin was granted the title of Genghis Khan in 1206, meaning universal leader. Genghis Khan soon turned his attention to the vast Chinese dynasties in the east. He knew the emperor would never allow such a strong and unified Mongolia on his borders, and so decided to take the first strike. Heading into China, the Khan's army plundered, raped and killed any who stood in their way until they reached the capital of the north, Zhongdu, now called Beijing. The city was one of the most advanced in the world, sporting 40-foot high walls that were completely alien to the nomadic Mongols. To get into the city, Genghis Khan used captured Chinese engineers to design siege equipment and camped outside the walls, cutting off vital supply lines. This lasted for so long that the Chinese began to starve to death by the thousands, many turning to cannibalism. When the Mongols went to take the city, they met reduced resistance and were able to take it with relative ease.
Yeah, this guy was crazy.
This led to a month of plunder and destruction that enhanced Genghis Khan's reputation as a bloodthirsty murderer and brought the Mongol Empire to new heights. His army continued west after the conquest, managing to reach Eastern Europe, showing little sign of slowing down. Genghis Khan died in 1227 during his final conquest into China. According to the secret history, his last words were, "I have conquered for you a large empire, but my life was too short to take the whole world. That I leave to you." He appointed his son Ogadai as his successor, in the hopes that he could complete the divine mission. Genghis Khan was buried in an unmarked grave, with all those who arranged the funeral apparently executed in order to keep the location a secret. Genghis Khan left a remarkable legacy, not only in blood and warfare, but also in his descendants. As he took the most beautiful women as prizes from every conquest, naturally he had many children.
Jeez, bro.
So many, in fact, that recent studies suggest that 1 in every 200 people living today are directly descended from him. Under Genghis Khan's rule, they also developed a complex and sophisticated society, which paved the way for modern-day civilization. The Mongols disregarded race, ethnicity, and class, creating a society based on meritocracy, where individuals were rewarded on ability and talent above all other things. They also practiced religious tolerance, allowing the Mongol Empire to become one of the most diverse in history. In an attempt to unify the feuding tribes of Mongolia, Genghis Khan gave land to each tribe and established a legal system where he laid out uniform punishments so as to create a combined society that abided by the same laws. He also forbade the enslavement of any Mongol, helping to solidify equality for all citizens. He also offered protection for the merchants travelling across his empire, leading to the re-establishment of the legendary Silk Road that enabled the transportation of goods and technology from east to west. This path was so valued and well protected, it was said that a man could walk from one end of the Mongol Empire to the other with a gold plate on his head and never be attacked. This also enabled the spread of Chinese culture and ideas to the growing civilizations in Europe. Trade surged and new technology such as paper, gunpowder and the compass made its way to the West, igniting the Renaissance just a few generations later. While there is no doubt that Genghis Khan was a cunning and ruthless warlord, it is debatable whether he was just an evil barbarian or managed to benefit the world in some way. While there is truth to the idea that he was a genocidal maniac, he also created a diverse and equal society under which the trade of both technology and culture flourished. In this way, Genghis Khan started an empire that had a wide and long-lasting impact on civilization in both the East and the West, the repercussions of which can still be felt today.
Okay. So,
My
Alex,
smart.
thoughts?
What's up?
Do we think Genghis Khan was a bad person or he was ahead of his time?
I would say he was ahead of his time, but he was also a bad person. But I know why he became a bad person.
What makes him a bad person? Based on what we just heard.
Because of the thing that he had to do to his own to people to get them, like the whole raping children or like raping the whole family, whatever.
I think that's just what happens in war.
Okay.
When you have a massive amount of people, usually it's always guys, you cannot dictate every single person. You just know you have a massive objective. We're going here to do this. There's scumbags in every area.
Right.
You don't even know it's all because you can't read everybody's minds. It happens still today. People go in different parts of the world, military-wise. It's happening in Haiti. With like people from the United States going to the Haiti and they're doing the exact same things that people are getting mad at Genghis Khan for.
True.
Today. You know what I'm saying? You have the military, you're like, oh, I love the military is great, da-da-da-da. But in that military, there's hundreds of thousands of scumbags in that military. So you could essentially have a group of people, could be 6 of them, that happen to be stationed together, but they're all scumbags. So they go into a location, and then that's what they're doing. They're still doing the raping and the killing and stuff like that. No repercussions. But you're not looking at them like, you're like, because they're part of the winning team. Right? It's the same thing that happened to that was happening there. You have the same thing. They're in war. When you're in war, you're at like the most animalistic moment of like your person. So like whatever happens is your worst version of you, because you're going there to essentially take life, and then everything that kind of stems from that is part of it. Now the people that go in instead of doing the objective of capturing, and they're like, oh, let's go do this to these other people. Those are the scumbags that are in that military. But you can't blame the Genghis Khan for that, because that's not him. If he was doing that, then we can be like,
we don't know. We don't know yet.
I don't think he has to. Because he just gets the women from like each tribe. It's just like he captures. All I'm saying is Genghis Khan out here was winning. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Okay. If you're not part of the Amicy gang, guys, click on that subscribe button below and join us and be part of the squad at all times. Don't cheat yourself.
Love thyself
and keep it Amicy. Peace.
Peace.
I